In my section of our How to Build Effective Teams in the Workplace Virtually and Locally, I talked about methods and procedures. There are 6 main objectives that were created from Hackman and Johnson that one should follow when designing a framework to build a good team. The first step in the effective team building process is organizational context. Organizational context is an important piece of the puzzle because it is the foundation that is needed for a well-designed team to grow from. A strong foundation cannot help a crippled team, as well as a weak foundation cannot improve a team that is already strong. They are dependent upon each other to survive. In order to have a strong organizational context, a team must have 3 systems in place: reward, informative, and educational. The reward system provides recognition and reinforcement that is directly dependent upon the team's performance. Information system provides the team members with the context that they need in order to explore alternative ways to make the best uses out of their talents and efforts. And last, educational system is the training and technical assistance that should be available to each and every of the team members. The next step is group design. The structures for group design are platforms that carry out collective work. One of the most important parts in group design is developing the norms of unacceptable and acceptable group behavior. There are 3 ways that the norms are found in the groups. The first one is imported in from the individuals. The second is that they gradually evolve, and third may be created as a part of organizational structure. Another important part is the composition of the teams. Some of the components are size, mix, and interpersonal skills. Always remember in the groups to have the right number of group members, because if a team has too little or too many, then some problems might arise. After having the right amount of team members, make sure that they are diverse from one another. Having different teams can bring an array of talent and perspective, and make sure they get along with each other and complement each other's resources. Interpersonal skills is the last of the components that refers to working competently with others. The last part of the group is compelling direction. The 3 benefits that help motivate team members are energize, orient, and engage. The third step is synergy. Synergy is one of the most important parts in building an effective team in the workplace. If all of the members interact and cooperate among each other, that could lead to have an effective and efficient team. The 5 traits that team leaders and managers should strive to search for are extroversion and introversion, openness, emotional stability, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. The manager needs to be aware of all these traits of each of the team members, so then it will allow the manager to bring out the best performance in their team. Cohesion is another important element in synergy. The goal of cohesion is to find the forces that keep the group together and counteract the forces that are trying to tear them apart. Sticking together like a family will makes a team more productive and efficient. The last 3 steps are grouped together: process criteria, physical environment, and group effectiveness. They are grouped together because they share similar objectives. First is process criteria, or also known as expert coaching. A coach must use direct interaction with the members to use collective resources, provide feedback, and ask reflective questions, while focusing on motivating, consulting, and educating them. If a coach practices these skills, then it leads to better team performance and effectiveness. Physical environment will also affect the performance of the team. An uncomfortable work environment can lead to a lot of stress, and then stress in turn will decrease the productivity and effectiveness of the team. The environment needs to remain as comfortable as possible, and try to find the team members that are not bothered by extreme temperatures and noises. The environment needs to remain as comfortable as possible. And the final objective is team effectiveness. This objective focuses on productivity, attitudes, and behavioral outcomes. Each member needs to look into how each of the team performs the best and adjust their team members' tasks accordingly. Social loafing is one possible problem that might arise. To prevent this, high standards and goals should be set, and managers need to increase individual personal stakes in the group's outcome. Also, all of these 6 objectives, which are here in our models of effective teams: organizational context, group design, group systems, process of criteria of effectiveness, physical environment, and group effectiveness or performance, are just the framework for building effective teams in the workplace, and when they are all maximized to their potential, will lead to a very productive and effective team. Now, the other section I talked about in the report was methods. There are many different methods used when building effective teams in an organization. A great example of that was presented by Eek Wee. The article talks about the 2011 NFL Indianapolis Colts. The Colts had a 0-10 record. The Colts first started off with a 0-10 record, and for the 9 previous consecutive seasons, they made the NFL playoffs. So the question arises, what happened to the 2011 Indianapolis Colts? Well, according to the author, the reason being is that they were without their 4-time MVP NFL quarterback, Peyton Manning. Without him in the picture, the Colts collapsed to almost a winless season, and the Colts' solid team was not really all that solid. Then, the author then proceeded to say that the Lone Star model, which is what he referred to it as, does not only apply to athletics. That is why it is important for professional leaders and managers to constantly be discovering and nurturing new talent in their organization. If a team cannot function without its Lone Star, then it could be the time to put others in position to either fail or succeed. Also, it is very important that a leader is measured not only by his performance, but how he builds the team around him. And if the Lone Star then departs from the organization, then there will be others who can replace him without the organization collapsing and failing. This article shows that it is very important to not develop a team around one strong performer, but the strong performer in the group should build up and challenge the team members around them. This allows the team to be ready for someone in the last minute to fill the place for a top performer if he departs from an organization, so the success of the organization does not crumble because of the lack of a leader. And methods and procedures, those were my parts of the how to build effective teams in the workplace.